Happy Tuesday, people. Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing out there? You know what? Today, I wanted to celebrate one of my accomplishments, right? I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with y'all. One of my accomplishments. And I'm proud of this accomplishment. Really proud. Um, Let me take a pull of this and I'm going to break it down for y'all in a minute. Hold on. So today, March 18th, 2010. Never forget this. This was the day that I got full custody of my oldest son. March 18th, 2010. Long road. Oh, it's been a crazy journey. Crazy journey, right? Couple of stories I'm gonna share with y'all today. But let's talk about it real quick. So 2010, actually about 2009 is when I put in the paperwork. And my kid's mom, she decided to take my son and my daughter out to Arkansas. So, and at the time I was working a nice ass job. I was working at Comcast. I was balling. I can't even lie to you. I was balling. But, well, you know, first off, let's get to the. I found out my daughter wasn't mine, right? They had the same mom. And I have found out that my oldest daughter wasn't mine. So in that process, I was working. Even when I found out, I was working. I just couldn't stop working. Because if I did, my mind would wander. You know what I'm saying? So me and her would get the kids back and forth. We was actually sharing an apartment at one time. And I moved out, got my own place, and I was paying both rents, my where I was at and where she was at. And we had been talked about that my daughter possibly could not have been mine, right? And it wasn't like she cheated on me or anything like that, so it wasn't like, nah. Most people think, oh, she cheated on you. No, we wasn't together. We were friends. Wind up having sex with her like 2 or 3 times. And baby. And I came front like that was if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So, you know, as time go on, the years passed and stuff. And because I couldn't get full custody of her, I was able to get full custody of my son, but I wasn't able to get full custody of her because she wasn't mine. And so I did put, when I put in the paperwork, I put both their names down. First court date, the judge was like, she's not yours, so you can't claim her. So it's all right. You know what I'm saying? I had no choice. It is what it is. So in the process of me paying both rents, working, I had some chicks on the side, man. Where I was moving to was East Oakland. Um, I just started back selling weed, so I was working selling weed and had some bras uh, that was ready to hold for me. So I came front. I, money was good. Everything was cool. One weekend, one, I forget what holiday was coming up. I want to say maybe Easter. Easter was coming up. She said she was taking the kids out to Arkansas and wind up staying out there for a whole fucking year. So, crazy story though, real quick. When my son was born, right, on everything. When my oldest son was born, when he came out the womb, okay, when he came out the womb, I kid you not, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. When he came out the womb, the words I heard was full custody. It was full custody. I promise you. I didn't know shit about full custody. That was the first time I ever heard it. Is when he slid out her womb. Full custody popped into my mind. So, you know, I did that for about co-parent for about 2 years. So when he was 2, is when she took him out to Arkansas. Oh, that crushed me. Ooh, that crushed me. Oh, that crushed me. I remember Maxwell album, one of the albums that got me through um, that situation. Of course, Pretty Wings. Oh yeah, that song it got me through because my son he wasn't here. He was in Arkansas. I couldn't touch him, couldn't hold him, couldn't give him a hug. I couldn't do anything. I could provide, but I could not be with him physically, and it ate me up. It ate me up. One day while I was working, right, working, I was working at the call center at Comcast, and at the time, I was in another relationship. I had just got into another relationship and started living with the person. We just got our own place, and she knew everything that was going on. But I was sitting at my desk. I got a call, and I was irritated. You know what I'm saying? The customer called, and I was hella irritated. I was hella irritated because I was like, "This is not where I'm supposed to be right now." All I could think about was my son. What type of situation is he in? Is he in a house? Is he in a home? What's going on? Because I was only hearing from her like every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Every 2 weeks. Sometimes wouldn't hear from her for a month. So I waited it out, and I remembered, you know what? Full custody. So I went down to the courthouse, Alameda Courthouse, started doing my research, filled out the paperwork, got a couple of court dates. She never showed up. I told her about the court dates, never showed up. was one particular time I didn't even. She called me up and was like, "I'm out here. Come get the kids." Went to go get them, um, and I didn't hear from her for 2 weeks. My son was 3. When I finally seen my son, right, when he came back, mind you, he left when he was 2. He didn't come back till he was 3. So, um, then when she brought him back, like I said, I didn't hear from her for 2 weeks. She gave me both kids. Because even though my daughter wasn't mine, I still was taking care of her, right? And still watching her. So, she comes back, drops off the kids, don't have nothing for them. Nothing for them. Not a damn thing. So, luckily, I was working at the time. I was working at this house for ladies that was trying to get their life together, and I was a little program director. So, and it was a house. It was my godmom's house. It was her program. So I just happened to be running it at that time, and she knew everything that was going on. The whole family knew I was trying to get full custody of my son. So, at that time, I can't lie to you, my family supported me, right? So I finally get my son back. My son not talking to me. My son didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He didn't even know who I was. If it wasn't for my daughter, she was like, "This daddy." But in Arkansas, my kid's mom had my son calling somebody else daddy. So, and that was a whole year. So he forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? He forgot about me. So I sit up there, and luckily, when she dropped him off, like maybe 5 days after she dropped him off, we had a court date. I gave her the papers. She knew. And we go to the court date. And what wind up happening is she didn't go. She didn't show up. I showed up with my mom and my son, and he couldn't come in the courtroom, so he was in the chambers, in the judge chambers or whatever with my mom because she was watching him. I remember the judge was like, because we had been to court. I had been to court like 4 or 5 times before they asked because she wasn't out here. So the judge was like, "I'm sorry," because he didn't know I had Ronnie at the time. So he was like, "I'm sorry, but we might have to once again put this case for another date." And I was like, "Well, I got Ronnie right now, so I wasn't really tripping if they was gonna push it for another date. I just wanted to make sure that I was gonna be able to get him until that date, to that court date." And the judge was like, "You got him?" And I was like, "Yeah." She brought him back like about a week ago. I haven't heard from her. We talked um, where she dropped him off, and I told her, and I gave her a packet. You know what I'm saying? And they mailed the because when you try to get full custody of somebody, you got to actually serve them. So I was able to get full custody of my son March 18th, 2010. What's also crazy about today's date is today is also my niece's birthday. Shout out, niece. How you doing? I talked to you earlier. Me and Ronnie talked to you earlier. So, and my one of my closest friends who I have not been able to talk to in a couple of years. Ron, was good with you, brother? Um, yeah, his birthday is today. So today, when I left out that courtroom, I was so happy because I was able to celebrate damn near all three. You know what I'm saying? And I felt good. And today, me and my son, we went out and celebrated, had some food, took him shopping, and to keep it 100 with you, I'm proud that I was able to. My son's 17 now, right? This is last year in high school. In fact, he's not even in school no more. He's just waiting to graduate. He's done with school. You know what I'm saying? So he was done in school in February. So he's just waiting right now to graduate in the summertime. And I'm proud. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of myself. And we got so much more to do and accomplish. But for now and at this moment, I'm happy because I was able to do something, you know, that my dad didn't do for me. And to me, sometimes you want to break a curse that's in your family. And my dad wasn't in my life just because he was on drugs. And he chose drugs. And it was a lot of other things, him and the relationship that he had with my mom wasn't on best of terms. So before he died, he told me, like, I'm sorry. And, I wasn't mad at him. I was hurt that he wasn't in my life. But my mom had me around a lot of positive men, you know. So to be there at every step, to watch him graduate kindergarten, middle school, to watch him get certain awards, going to school with him, catching a bus with him. I remember, let me give you a story. I got another story for you real quick. I remember I was in college and I had, in my psychology class, I had to do or break a norm and I had to have it recorded, right? And so I remember I was like, what can I do? So I told Ronnie, I was like, look, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to break a norm. I'm about to get on a bus like I'm homeless. So, um, and I had to break a norm, right? So I remember, and I told him I didn't want him to be ashamed, but I had to do it, right? I was doing two things. I was gonna catch the bus, dressed like a homeless person, and in one of my other psychology classes, I was going to present a, presentation, and I forget what it was about. Dressed like I was homeless, right? So I was gonna break those norms, and I never forget. We get on the bus, and I had one shoe on, one shoe off. I had mud on my clothes. I put a little bit of mud on my face. My shirt was dirty. I didn't take a shower. So I remember my son just had the biggest smile on his face while we was on the bus. Mind you, I'm on the bus doing this, right? And even for me to have, I remember having that conversation with him like before and prepping him for the looks that I was going to get, you know. And, you know, it's hard to explain it, but it it was just a beautiful moment, you know. My son has asthma. Never forget this. He had an asthma attack. We go to the doctors. We go to Children's Hospital, right? And we're there until like, and this is right after school. So I go pick him up from school, and he can't even walk to the bus stop. So the school called the ambulance. I rode to him in the ambulance to Children's Hospital. He needed a breathing treatment, right? So we in there from 3 to about 10:30, right? Check this out. We in there from 3 to 10:30. I'm living in West Oakland, right? Children's Hospital is in North Oakland. It ain't no bus running where Children's Hospital is. It is, but it's going all the way to Berkeley. So I was like, nah, couldn't do that. That was out the option, right? I had literally left my money at the house because all I was doing is I had left from the house to just go pick Ronnie up, and I'm going back to the house. He got an asthma attack. We there. So I'm like, man, I ain't all bad. My phone is on 5%. I didn't bring no charger. So I'm sitting in the damn hospital like, how the fuck are we gonna get home? Right? Never forget this. They discharged us from the hospital. There is a sheriff downstairs. Well, I asked them could they call a cab, right? The sheriff was like, "Nah, we're not doing that." And so I'm like, "I can't call. My phone is dead. I can't call." He was like, "No, we're not doing that." Mind you, I wasn't even talking to him. I'm talking to the person behind the desk. He like, "Nah, we're not doing that." And I'm like, "Look, I just got discharged with my son. He's 5 years old. He's 5 years old. No, he's 6. My bad. He's 6 years old. We got to get home. He got to go to school tomorrow." So the police is talking hella shit to me, and he not talking shit. He's just being hella rude. Then he get to the point where he not even talking to me no more. So I'm furious right now. At this point, it's about 11:15 at night. I don't know how we getting home. So I told my son, I said, "Look, we about to go on an adventure, a night adventure, right?" And I remember we walked, right? Check this out. We're walking from North Oakland to West Oakland. And I found a shopping cart, right? I put him in the shopping cart. And I remember me and him, literally, I pushed that shopping cart and we had hella fun that night. Just going home, right? Just going home. Times where I've coached his basketball team. You know, it's a beautiful thing about becoming a parent, right? It's a beautiful thing because when you're a parent, you know, for a long period of time, you are your child's favorite person. In elementary, my son used to, I want to be like daddy. I want to be like pops. And, it's one of those type of things to where I remember the OGs, uncles, and aunties. They used to be like, a random person would be like, oh, love them when they're young. Cherish these moments. Because, of course, when they get older, it's a different ball game. It's a different type of parenting. Back then in elementary, um, and even with my younger kids, right? They need that attention. They need that. They need your energy. They need to be around you. They need to sit up here and to feel your presence. It's times where my daughter's mom, my younger daughter's mom, she'll call me up and I'll talk to my big girl. And, sometimes, when she hears my voice, she straightens up. And then there's other times where, she's in her mood. She hears me, but she's still just in her mood. So, being a parent, being an active parent, there's a lot of parents out there, but they're not active. You know, I could never take back being a parent. It has taught me so much. My patient, my patient, my level of patience have. I used to be an impatient person, but when you have kids, you have to teach. They have to learn. And you have to understand your child's learning ability, how they learn, what's best fit for them, right? That's what we have to sit up here and do. And it's not, especially being a single parent. I've been a single parent, and there has been times where people or relationships. I've been involved in relationships, and on this journey, they have helped me. Okay, so and shout out to everybody that has helped me with Ronnie on this journey. Shout out to y'all because I would not, if it wasn't for a lot of people, I wouldn't even be in the position that I'm in right now with Ronnie. There's been a lot of good and bad. Good and bad. So today was my celebration, me and my son's celebration of actually making it and making it to one level, I should say, right? Making it to one level. And like I said, we have many more that we're going to sit up there and accomplish together. So, March 18th, 2010, I got full custody of my son, my oldest son. And, sometimes tough love is needed in certain situations. Tough love is needed because without tough love, if everything is easy, there's no growth. When you're trying to gain muscle, you sweat. You damn near about to fall into tears. It's pain. It's not easy. You don't just go work out and it's easy and you get muscles. No, because if that's the case, everybody would be walking around here buff. No. It's about the pain. And a lot of people, and when it comes to parenting, they tend to run from it, numb themselves. And there's no numbing yourself. You have to go through it. There's times where we didn't have money and times where we ain't had no money. Had to make a way. You know, one of my favorite scenes in a movie is Pursuit of Happiness. And you remember when he was in the bathroom with his son and he had to make it fun for him. His son didn't know the reality of what was going on. He didn't know. So what dad did is dad used his imagination to make things come alive. And that's what we as parents are supposed to do in difficult situations. If you're a parent, say I love you to your kids. Hug your kids. Tell them that they mean the world to you. Because, you know, us fathers, we understand that, you know, real fathers understand that mom is supposed to get all the love and all the attention. The father is there for the discipline, the talks, the motivation to provide, to protect. And there's times when sometimes you have to be able to switch because as the child is growing, you can't always nurture a child. You have to let life run its course. You have to. I just wanted to sit up here and say, you know, to all the parents, people that are raising kids, guardians, hey, keep doing your work. We will never know. We won't know until our kids have kids where we can actually see the job that we have done. And even you can see it earlier. But, you know, when they have kids, something goes off where it's like, oh, okay, I see what my parents was going through, right? You see it. You experience it as a parent. You feel it. So I just wanted to share those little moments. Like I said, this is 2010. I got full custody of my son. Hey, look, I'm happy, right? I'm happy. I'm happy. All right. Happy Tuesday. Do everything that y'all need to do. Once again, do y'all goals. If you got goals, hopefully y'all hitting y'all goals. I know it's the middle of the week, but hey, look, hit y'all goals. Set goals for yourself. All right. Each one teach one. Point blank period. Each one teach one. All right. All right. Look,